You're listening to the Go Lightly Martial Hour on freedomtalkradio.net. freedomtalkradio.net.
All right, we are back. Another day. What's the date? April the 2nd, 2015. From overcast and possible showers at Toogoom, Queensland, Australia, the home of the Lord Jesus Christ. Brian Leonard Go Lightly Marshall, which is the new name of the Revelation 3:12, and the name written that only he would know. Babe, what are you up to?
Nothing much.
Yeah, go on.
Well, I always find something to do, don't I? I mean, I'm just setting up a bit of a review of what we did the other day, I suppose you could say that.
Yes, about blood moons.
Nothing much, really.
Right, okay.
I'm just doing a test while you're talking on there. I'll just see if this lines up and what happened.
Alright, there was something interesting I read about the next 72 hours. Blood moons. And it's gone. Right when you want to find it, it's gone. How quickly these things disappear. Alright, not to worry. Alright. The only thing we need to know is...
These PowerPoints that I do really are set up for a different camera. So you have to put up with me a little bit here. I just haven't had the time. I'm preparing my shorts, for example. That'll do, yeah. Well, I'll put the camera on you, darling, when you come back to this. This is not really that important. And, got little lights.
Yes, I've resorted to let there be light. It's alright, I'm just trying to find something that vanished from the screen.
What it says is this biblical prophecy is going to occur
the
in
next
4 days.
The next 72 hours. Now, we've talked about you will be 72 years on... Here we go. This, it's as good as its source. Before it's news.com, but it was just the headline. Sky to turn blood red across the world this Easter. Did the Bible predict the next 72 hours? Well, we've talked about your life on the earth since your conception, which was April the 6th, 1943. So you will have been on the earth for 72 years on April the 6th. 4 days away, we are into April the 2nd in Australia. The rest of the world behind us a little, still on April the 1st. And April the 1st was our 7-year anniversary when I called you. I found you on the 30th. I picked up the phone on the 31st. We had a 5-minute conversation as I go, hello. Well, actually, it wasn't a hello then, however. Dropped the lead balloon. He thinks, but you'd already written an email to me. But it was the next day, April the 1st, April Fool's Day. I picked the phone up at 2:19 in the afternoon. and we spoke for 171 minutes and 38 seconds. 171 being the length of the Shroud of Turin, and 1713 is all about espousal as well. So now I know that because I looked at the telephone bill that came in after that. Curiosity got me. That's all divinely inspired. So tomorrow is the real anniversary of the crucifixion, because it did occur on April the 3rd in 33 AD. Then we have the blood moon on April the 4th, and resurrection April the 5th Jerusalem time, April the 6th Australian time. We're walking through the veil from one realm into another. And in that respect, Isabel Pasek got it right. She talked about the singularity of it was a new start. Isn't that how she put it? A new start for the world with the Shroud of Turin.
It's very important to get crucified at that moment.
Yes.
Because of the star's moon position, which I'm going to talk about a little bit today. And had that not happened, then the world not only would it have remained in hell, it would have been switched off. So,
yes.
Right, let's start again.
Yeah.
Right? So, human beings could have been made without free will, but then they'd be robots running around. Right? But guess what? From now on, free will is out of the question, because you can't handle it. What happens with free will? You end up with Muslims, you end up with Jews. I love Jews, they love me people.
The swedge.
Switches. Okay, I've got to do them all in, but that's not the point. There's a couple of good ones. I knew one once. They were about that. I told him I was his king, he didn't have a problem with that. But he was more interested in hunting women than religious thought. He did go to Israel in the 7-Day War at that time, just before it, because he got to fight for Israel, and realised just how much these stupid Jews hate Palestinians. He said he couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
So he came back to Australia, and he, around Christmas times, goes down to all the old pensioners and has Christmas dinner for them. Right, then I show up in his life, right? So it's very interesting. So there's good Jews out there. We just got to sort them out, right? I mean, it's up to them. I mean, they can go to hell if they want, but they're not going to stay as... Judaism is finished. That's the most bullshit religion of all time. That's not finished. Kaput. See you later. Into the abyss. Now, you still keep it. You keep the record of it, saying, well, this is what's happened when you have free will. This is what you allow to happen, because people they start off innocent, and by the time they're 7 years old, they've got you.
Totally corrupted.
Total corruption. So you can't have that. That's why it's ruled with a rod of iron.
And then as a Muslim child, the children are to recite the Quran, memorise and recite the Quran, occupies their mind.
Well, you can't go to university, and why would you want to, unless you can recite the Quran. It's the same with the English. You couldn't go to Oxford or Cambridge unless you spoke fluent Greek. Why? Isn't English good enough, God's language? I mean, this is what you got to put up with it. People are so stupid. Right? However, it sorted out the rich people from the poor. The rich people learned Greek. That's all it was done to do. So anyhow, I've been looking at a few positions of the moon and stars over the last little while, as you know. And I've been very tired, as you know, so I went over what I did yesterday, and I've just corrected the mistakes to a certain extent, because I'm still tired. But I will run through it when you stop looking at me with those 4 eyes you got.
Distracting, isn't it? Here we go. The light's being turned off.
So do you want me to go through this now? Or
Yes, you go through it, Dave. You people like the sound of your voice, the comforter.
Alrighty then. We'll talk on, and I'll put it on the other. No, I'll leave it on this computer.
Yeah.
So what happens when you set the cameras up? They can do a wide or angle and so forth. This camera is a beautiful camera, but I still haven't figured out how to use it yet. All right, now there you go. So we'll start off now. This is the 28th. We'll go back in time. So we have September the 28th, 2015. It hasn't happened yet. The sun position. We can do this so precisely that after I've done this little bit of a presentation here, we'll show you how the equipment I use and how it can be so precise. And I'll zoom in on the actual locations and show you the different software, how you can get it. So we're looking at within a few hundred metres in lots of cases to the precise positions of sun and moon. But remember, the moon is moving at 2,300 miles per hour over the surface of the Earth. So when it lines up for a solar eclipse, then the amount of time that is actually in the zone, if you like, is determined pretty precisely with these modern supercomputers and modern astronomy program. So I go on that and then compare it to my own astronomy program to see if they've altered it. And I've found one alteration, and that was a solar eclipse on the 20th. They said it was 9:41, and I've zoomed in on it and it's 9:42. The reason they changed it from 9:41 because they know how I do things. So 9:42 is a Jesus number, 9:41 ain't. So I zoomed in on that and did it, cross-referenced it with several programs I've got, and it's 9:42. So on September the 28th, we've got the sun position, and when the world is reporting through UTC time, that's English time, Greenwich Mean Time, the position of the moon and the sun for a red moon. Now the red moon lasts a little longer, and 5 minutes or so, and you can see the start of it, you can see the end of it, and therefore they can't really get out of it. It gives you the exact time of the precise moment. It's in the centre of that location. And then you can do it anywhere in the world. You can work it out whether if you're in Hawaii or if you're in Australia or wherever. But UTC time, we're going to have to start again. This card says it's full. What's happening? Yeah.
All right.
Which is an impossibility for this card.
Wrong card.
Wrong card. Joel? Yeah. Have you got any cards of mine, mate? Wait a
I'll
minute.
get it.
Alright, it's alright, go on. I've got to start again, that's all. I'll have to splice these two together. I picked up the wrong one in it, but I was so excited. Alright. So we'll continue on from there. And what I'm saying is that the distance from the end of this series, which won't happen again for 600 years or so, and it doesn't matter then, the sun position on the 28th of September, when the total eclipse, if you like, of the red moon, the distance to where I was reborn, the home that is, where I lived till I was 942 days old. The distance is 2424, which is Jesus in the concordance. So the word is Iesus. That's of Hebrew origin 3091, which is Joshua. So we'll go down to another slide here, and now this one here is a number that comes up quite often, and what we have then here is the distance between the sun and the moon, and it is 10779.2 nautical miles. Now we're talking something that's in seconds here. Remember, this moon is moving at 2300 miles per hour, So nailing it right down, so we do know that we have 1077. Now that number is birthday ceremonies. And I want you to keep that in mind because we're going to see it again and again and again. Right. So now we go down to the next one. Now what I've done here, so we've got the sun to the blood moon on this particular date, and we'll go through all those later. It doesn't really matter what the date is at the moment. We have three sides, which is 20,081 miles. It contains an area of 10,67,4913 square miles. So the Hebrew 1067 is firstborn. So that's not really that important, but I thought I'd put it in for the sake of it. Now, from April the 4th to September the 28th, blood moon position is a distance of 8078. Now, nautical miles. This is 8078 is astonishment, to be astounded. But from the sun position on these dates, the distance to the same 8078 nautical miles from moon to moon is also the same 8078 nautical miles. So sun to sun and moon to moon. Then we go to sun April 4th to September 28th. Sun to sun is 8078 nautical miles. Moon April 4th to moon September 28th is also 8078 miles. Now, what I was saying before about the 1077. Moon April 4th to the sun April 4th is 1077 plus nautical miles. And I put the plus in there because it's about 0.24, depending on the speed of the moon at that moment, and being able to nail it down with these supercomputers, what we've got available. So I thought, well, the point is it's 1077, and it might be a mile difference, for example, to the moon September the 28th to sun September the 28th, which is also 1077 plus nautical mile. Sun to birth home on the 28th is 2424 miles. So we've got these here as a cross-reference this way. If you look at it up close, which I'll zoom in on it so you can see it. What we have then is the moon, red moon, September the 28th, 2015. You go down on the diagonal as 8078 to September the 28th, right, 2015. Right? So I've got the moon, sun, and just not sure the wrong colour. Anyhow, that's the idea of it. You know what's going on here. We'll move on a little bit. I will find mistakes as I'm going through because I am absolutely knackered. There it is again. Now look at the moon April the 4th to the moon September the 28th. The distance is 10775.2 nautical miles. Up the top there you got the moon September the 28th, 2015 to the sun September the 28th, 2015 is 10779.2. So there's a difference there of only 4 nautical miles. Then you've got the diagonals between the two sun positions, sun September the 28th and moon 4th of April 2015. And I've done the colours wrong there, so I mean I've got to go over and do them all again. That should be red, that should be yellow. Anyhow, both moon positions are the exact same distances, 1077 nautical miles apart. 1077 something, say 9 or 5 nautical miles apart. And the sun is the same, 8078. Right, go on. Now, October the 8th, 2014 shows the sun and moon distance apart, which is 10776 nautical miles. So we've had a 9, we've had a 5, now we have a 6. There's 3 different dates, different locations, right? The total eclipse of supermoon occurred over Teshvan Faroe Island, north of the United Kingdom. The maximum eclipse was 9:42 a.m. This number is the birth total for the same name Jesus in the 1611. 942 verses. It's also how long I lived at the birth home. We see then a pattern in the moon with solar eclipses and the rare blood moons. The last position of the sun is at the time of the maximum for September the 28th. So there's all those numbers there. What I was trying to show, not corrected the colours. Supermoon solar eclipse March 20th, 2015, UTC 9:42. Moon location to my rebirth location home is 6664 nautical miles, which is Tesdek in Hebrew, and that is natural, moral and legal, and abstractly equity, prosperity, which is altogether justice, righteousness and causelessness. Now, this is from the home planet, a very accurate program. It gives you the distances and locations. What you do is you click up here and you say, well, on that time we've set up, 20th to 3rd, 2015 at 9:42, we'll say, all right, where is the moon? And it'll come up. And it shows you the longitude and latitude of it. So when we finish this, I'll zoom in, I'll show you all those numbers, how we do that. And you can also do it for the sun. So there's the sun. That's at 0.21 south by 36.40, and it gives you the distance out to the sun, etc. So the moon to the sun is 66.6 miles. The beast number. Well, I don't go along with that bullshit. If it's a 66.6, I'll take it. At least you can remember it. So here we go drawing a line from the sun to the moon, and then my rebirth home back to the sun contains an area of 212200 square miles, leading us to Revelation 21:22. And I saw no temple therein, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. There's your location there. That's come off the computer, which I'll show you later on. Don't want to break your concentration. And I saw no temple therein, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it, and the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon. Why? Why don't you need the sun and the moon? To prove it. It's not that the sun is going to shine, the moon is not going to be there. It's a code. It says, and the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon, to prove who Jesus is. Right? To shine in it. For the glory of God did lighten it. Now what's the glory of God? I'm telling you. Right? And the Lamb is the light thereof. Light is information. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honour unto it. There's a little one missing here. It should be in a little. We'll put it in later. And those who don't are wretched. In fact. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there either. No darkness means no loss of information. It'll be all light and open. That's what this means.
Transparent.
Right? But you don't need the moon and sun no more, because I'm here. I'll lighten you. I will tell you. I will enlighten you what it is, right? And they shall bring the glory and honour of the nations into it, and there shall be no wise enter into it anything that defileth. That's why I rule with a rod of iron, right? Now, I arrived back in Australia on October the 8th, 1996. 18 years later, the blood moon occurs. The Strait of Turin team ended with the 5 days of examination on October the 8th, 1978, 36 years earlier. Then the blood moon, 2014. The resurrection occurred 36 hours after the tomb was shut, sealed and pinned shut with a big iron pin about 2 inches wide or 50 millimetres, and it sheared it off. This big stone was sheared off and it rolled uphill. It's 13 feet 2 inches wide, that's about 4 metres, by 500 mil thick or 2 feet. This thing is huge. It was sheared off, it rolled up the hill, and it parked itself underneath the exact position of the cross. Exactly, and that's what Ron Wyatt uncovered, because the Jews have been using it as a dump. It took him 8 years to dig down to it.
That's right. I know what I was thinking the other day. It was 1982, January the 6th, at 2 p.m. 1982, that he discovered, and then went out for 45 minutes. He fainted. Discovered the Ark of the Covenant. Well, that was 33 years ago.
Yes. This
year. Now, you said that the difference in the moon locations has only altered by 9, 5 and 6. You know, it's 1077, then you've got 0.9, 0.5, 0.6.
Right. That's only due to the fact of observation of the computers and the observation of our people that are doing the astronomers. But I also have to point out there's been 100 astronomers killed leading up to this moment in time.
Well,
that's how important it is to keep the astronomers out of the picture.
Well, 956 in Greek is a missile, that is a spear or arrow or dart.
So what we've got then is that the diagonal of the pyramid with its, it is actually 1077.2464. Right. Let's put this. Now, ironically, it is slightly out of square. And those numbers are the reason why.
Yes.
Okay, as resurrection occurred 36 hours after the tomb was shut, sealed and pinned shut, the location of the moon to the blood moon, September the 28th, 2015, when I am 71.717629 years, the distance is 3478. 3478 kilometres, and there it is, we'll prove in a second, is the word Nazareth, a place in Palestine. It's also, he will rule as God in Hebrew. Then we go to the solar eclipse, ending all this on the 24 miles to where I was reborn, and that's directly pointing to New Zealand as well, which is 888 miles between latitudes, which was measured by Cook, and he arrived there on when? October the 8th. 1769. Just after he'd sailed back from... Now, if you try and find this, they changed it. He sailed back from Antarctica because he had secret orders to find an alternative to Australia. They'd calculated that the Earth should wobble over because it's got to be a big planet. It had got to have a big land mass on the other side. That's how stupid these people were. And they never realised that the Earth was moving northwards. But it's in the Bible. Job says... something along the lines of, and he hangeth the earth upon nothing in an empty space, or something like that. Was it Job 27:6 or something? Have a look at it.
I'll have a look.
So, what we have then is the last blood moon. We have the sun position when the blood moon's occurring. Now, to understand the distance apart between the sun and the moon when there's a blood moon, is because it's on the other side of the bloody planet, isn't it? So the idea is that the sunlight passes through the atmosphere of the Earth when the moon lines up with it. So it's an eclipse opposite to a solar eclipse where the two are lined up so that the moon will go dark, sun will go dark. Did you find it?
Yes, Job 26:7. He stretcheth out the north over the empty place and hangeth the earth upon nothing. Not a trampoline. As Einstein's.
So there you got, on the left there you've got the martial coat of arms, which is black and white, black and white, black and white. That's Michael the Archangel, because in Cornwall, where they had been mining tin for 2,500 years BC, and this is where Joseph of Arimathea, if you went there, they've got songs sung about him. Joseph was a tin man. Then they got the Jesus well, they got the Jesus pit, they got the Jesus mine, they got Jesus this, they got Mary's house, they got Jesus well. That's where Mary died. Right? And of course you get the bullshit artists telling you that Mary died somewhere else and someone else died somewhere else, and never mentioning that in fact we come from the British Isles. That's why when they talked about the people that was being after the days of Nero, all of the angel landers were being rounded up and taken to Rome to be fed to the lions in the Colosseums. Well, underneath the catacombs there's 6 million British skulls. You can tell a British skull from a German skull, from an Austrian skull, or from a Swiss skull or Italian, because there's a slight difference. And they're identified by the skull shape. For example, a German skull is square. Right, so it fixes nice. When they have a hat over there, it's a box. Sorry about that, Jim. No, they're very, very similar, but the skulls are slightly different. Another strange phenomenon: English people that come out to Australia and have their son born in what is called the Dandenong Ranges are very, very tall. The parents might be 5'2" or 3 inches tall, and they have a son 6 foot 6 inches tall, 2 metres bloody tall. Well, why? It's just the fact that these environment in Australia is different to where they come from in England. Now this is the Golightly flag, or the emblem that's got 3 on it: God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. And it's of the Golightly of Ireland. It's a very ancient name, and it means, the name of it means hitherto invincible. Now, going back to the martial side, you got the lion up top, you got the ermine, which is here. The ermine means royalty. All royalty have ermine on it. So you see the Queen running around with a little cloak on, and a little Batman costume. She's got ermine on it. And then, so this is Cornwall. That's the Michael the Archangel, and that's the royalty side there. Right? And of course, it's spelt with 2 L's. So then we've got the Golightly name. Another shield. It's got ermine all over it. This is the Scottish one, I think, and it means Hactinius Invictus, means hitherto invincible. And you've got the other Golightly one on the right hand side. I have the ancient old Golightly one, which I haven't put up. The lion's head with Golightly name, it's the ancient crown of David. It is so old that they didn't even know what a lion looked like, so they guessed it. Right?
The antique.
And the crown is pathetic. So the whole thing is a pathetic drawing, but it's before the days that they knew how to actually have good artwork.
I've got it on. I'll bring it up and then you can swing the camera around. Keep going.
Well, now we just end up with the Shroud of Turin. This is the shroud here on the left, and that's my face on the right. So you see the moustache is almost the same. The nose length is almost the same, but remember this was hit with a stick and broke the cartilage in the nose.
Yeah, so it was looking
and the
squashed.
swelling of the cheek here, well, it's very, very, very similar. That's why even my beard to this day, it ends here. It's quite clear, the skin down here and down here on my face. The beard is actually around the chin line, and that's it. Won't go any higher than that because it doesn't form, doesn't grow there. So very similar. So anyhow, that should hold you.
I'm looking for
If I go
all
over to
these.
my sweetie.
Well, I'm looking. Oh, Glastonbury tour, our climb up the Glastonbury tour, bring back memories.
Oh,
Where's
you
the-
did that.
oh,
I was a
here,
bit of a search
200
myself.
228 Yars Canadian drawings. Pretty sure the antique crown of David is in there. Many of you have already seen
Well,
it. We put it up before, fairly recently too. As a matter of fact, I was thinking that notice of the king that we have laminated should go back out on the doorpost there.
Now, we spoke about yesterday, and some of our people are concerned that we're going to die and take off. No, that's not happening. A lot of these things are put in the Bible by Jews to give them a second fighting chance, if you like. And you see, I have been to the heavenly realm twice during this 72 years, and each time my body went with it. So in the prophecy that they're talking about, they will lie beheaded for 3.5 days in the streets of Jerusalem. That's entirely Jewish. The 3.5 days is entirely Jewish. That's what the sealing of the tomb was all about. And right. The idea being is that the 3.5 days, in that time it allowed for the soul, this is how stupid they are, and there was a little hole left in the tomb. Now,
Oh, yes.
right?
Yeah.
And some of the ones they try to palm off in Jerusalem, where there's supposed to be the Talpiot tomb, they called it, and they've got a pipe coming up.
Yeah.
So there's this blind woman comes wandering around the corner, and there's these experts looking for the bloody hole for the tomb.
Yeah.
And she's blind. She says, "There it is, there, blind as a bat, right?" And they've got this lid that leads down into a opening for this tomb, and what it is there's a new concrete out.
Yes.
It's very, very dark green. It sets up within, well, you got to mix it up and get it out the bucket real quick, otherwise it's going to go hard on you. So this is what they used. I found it here, no, it's all right.
I found it good. All right.
All right. Open with. So what they've done, this is how dumb they are. Right? They're opening up, chipping away this green shit, and they take this lid off, you see, and there it is. Ha ha! Look down there. There's the start of the entrance of the tomb. So he's saying, the guy says, right, let's go. And he says he's climbing down. The camera is looking
angle
up.
changes.
It's looking up from the tomb, right?
Yes.
Like,
So who have they
down
got
there.
from the tomb already?
They're supposed to be pulling it back, right? Look,
First-
down there, and the
first
camera's down in the
discovery.
tomb, looking back up, right? They're so dumb, these bastards, I tell you. Okay, now here's the. I found it here. It's the antique crown of David. What I was saying before is how old it is. Gives you some idea of the lack of skill and familiarity what a lion looked like. Right? It's very, very pathetic, really. But it's the antique crown of David. It's the oldest one I've found. I haven't been able to find that on the internet anymore because when I put it up, they go and take it out. Right? So there it is there, lightly. Antique crown of David. Let's go back. Whoop. There's the. This is the martial one. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He crouched as a lion, as an old lion. Who shall arouse him? Now, that's Genesis 29, 9 through to 11. Genesis 29, 10, 11, and 12. This martial in Hebrew. As Judah's primary emblem, the lion is usually shown in a couchant, dormant position. We note that the lion is in a variety of positions, is an emblem common to nearly all sections of the Celtic Saxon people. It appears in their royal and national arms, in their provincial and municipal arms, and in the arms of hundreds of their old families. So there's that there. The Golightly shield. Right? So we've got the martial name here and the Golightly shield there. This is some of the ruins I was looking at around the world. This also make it very interesting. This here is the guy that said to George Washington, Cornwallis, after the victory of the Americans that beat the British, like the first time in history no one's ever beat the British, and the Americans thought they'd won the war. In fact, it was the other way around. They'd set them all up.
Yes.
Right. Rothschild made all the money on the soldiers,
Yep.
renting the soldiers out. Hessian soldiers, I believe they were. And they couldn't get British soldiers to go to America to shoot other British people. So they brought in Russians
Yes.
and put them in redcoats. So this clown here, he tells Washington that from now on you will be preaching the Jewish Bible, and in 200 years or so the whole world will look upon the American as being the bastion of freedom under the Jews. So they were Jews, right? Cornwallis his name was. There he goes. We go a bit further through the we've got nothing, that's it. Alright, now I want to go and show you this program here. It's a marvellous program. On the left here, it gives you all the longitudes and latitudes. So we've got, for example, and I'll show you how to flick around the screen here. We've got the moon on the 4th of the 4th. This is the red moon. And it'll move out, so we'll zoom out to get a look at it. As I was saying yesterday, that position there of the moon is actually here, but because it's a map, a cylindrical map, that's how they did it. And it's the best way of doing it when it comes to Magellan software. So there's the moon over there in the 4th, and then we've got the sun position, right? Again, I'll zoom in again. Where are we? There it is there. So we had the moon over there, we've got the sun over there, and we can go to anyone we like. This is the March eclipse. It's there, so we'll zoom out there. So that's in part of Kenya. Right? So then we got, that's the moon. Then we go to the sun eclipse. I'll just show you how we do that. I'll show you where it is again. It's the 28th. That's Kenya. So we'll go to the, that was the 20th rather. So that was the solar eclipse. So we'll go to the 28th of the sun, and that's that one there. So I'll just show you where it is. It's not too far from Australia. It's actually, this is Indonesia. And we're going to, I'll just move it up. We're going to be going down to this location down here, and I'll do it here. And we change the distance to what's in US miles already. So we're going to measure from that position down to, it's actually 2424. It's down here. There it is there. That's my birthplace, where I was raised until I was 942 days old. So that sort of completes the deal. Now, I'll put the camera right on and zoom in on the numbers so you can get some idea how it's done. So this is what I've done here. So just for the skeptical Jew, there's your latitudes and longitudes of them all. And then to get that, we use this program here, which is that one there. So you can punch in any day you like, universal time or a Julian date, and there it is, Julian date there, which is the 1600 hours, universal time, which is the date of the resurrection. No, that's the date of the closing of the tomb on the 3rd of April 33 AD. So we know exactly by going up here, we'll say, okay, that's good. We want to see where object catalogue, say the sun position. And that'll give you the latitude and longitude of the sun position, which you can then take that down and put it into this program over here. This comes in as a 4.61. When you type it into here, it'll change it to a seconds, minutes and hours. Degrees, minutes and seconds rather. It'll do it automatically. So it's a very lovely program, all these things I've got, and I've had it for many, many years. So, for example, the last few days we've been looking at Venus was way out of position. And that's because we've crossed over the Milky Way galaxy on the 11th of the 11th, 2012. 11. On the 11th of the 12th.
Of the 12th.
12th month, that's right. At 11:11 a.m. That's why everyone was saying 11:11 everywhere, because it's in the human psyche, you see. We're all connected in that way. And this is a spirit pouring out on the earth, so that when I do reveal these things, much to the horror of the Jews and the world order, that they haven't been able to kill me, and I keep on doing these things. Now, getting back to the beheading, don't worry about it, that's bullshit, right? Because the 2 times I've been back up to the heavens, is my body went with me. So they won't be laying around in Jerusalem for 3 days, right? Getting back to the idea of why they have a tomb, you've got to go up for 3.5 days, is because they leave a little hole, going back to the Talpiot tomb, for the soul to get out. Like, hello, put a bullet through your head, I'll tell you what, the soul's gone right now.
Doesn't need any little...
It's the soul that keeps your body going.
The blueprint.
You take the soul out, the blueprint's gone. See you later.
Oh, just for anybody out there too, that reminds me of in 2010 when we had the agent from the FBI staying with us, and there was he made up a report about the 2 witnesses, being you and myself, that were shot dead. It was all in fun. It was his idea and all the rest of it, as everything that he suggested to do. Yeah, I just go, okay, we'll do it. But so there is a report about we were shot there. It was laying around. That was the house we moved into, Sedgwick and all the rest of it. And then
the guy who owned the house,
he wrote the script for it.
He was raising his little boys as girls.
Oh my God, that was the weirdest thing. His name was.
Don't mention it. Don't even give any notoriety.
Oh, well, I can't remember his last name anyway, but I just... Yeah. Anyway, the owners of this house, totally bizarre. 2 boys, and they came unannounced, and the boys were dressed in skirts, long blonde hair to their shoulders, and they had skirts and tops on. Skirts and tops. They were dressed as girls. And who was it yesterday? Somebody said, I don't know, some of the weirdo kind of stuff. So, there are a lot of people on the planet who should never be parents. They were one of them. A set of them.
Yeah, so have no fears. Everything's fine. Everything's going according to plan. And I have a backup. It's called my little sausage over there.
Speaking of which, and speaking about disappearings and all the rest of it, this article that I wanted to pull up about the...
We may go for a trip to the heavens, but our bodies will go with us.
Yeah. We'll be back. That's the point.
Don't worry about it.
It's all good. Sky to turn blood red across the... Now, this is from another Jew site. Separating the wheat from the tares. It's really easy. If they are not talking about God on the earth, Yahweh, the Lord Jesus Christ being announced by Benedict, with his new name of the Revelation, Brian Lenigo
and the Anglican Church of India.
If they are not talking about it in these alternative news sources, then they are run by the Jews behind the scenes, no matter what they sound like. So this Before It's News is just another Jew run. Like they're all gatekeepers. Alex Jones, all of them. Absolutely. Even David Duke. They're all gatekeepers. So this bullshit is going... Did the Bible predict the next 72 hours? Well, remember, it's all about his age. He will be 72 at the resurrection this year, the anniversary of it. Next, sky to turn blood red across the world this Easter. It's not often that NASA and the church are on the same page, but this freak blood moon seems to have done it. The sky will turn a deep red across the planet this Easter as a rare celestial event foretold in the Bible unfolds. On Saturday evening, just as Passover draws to a close, an eerie blood colour will engulf the moon. It is the third of 4 successive total blood red lunar eclipses, each followed by 6 full moons, an extremely rare tetrad. Experts are predicting that the moon will be fully obscured for 5 full minutes and that the rare phenomenon will be visible across North America, Asia and Australia. According to NASA, the incredible alignment has only happened a handful of times in the last 2,000 years. The blood moon phenomenon was predicted in the Bible. The King James Bible predicts the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord. That's Joel 2:31. And then